What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, everybody? So we are back again for another episode review of The Chi. This is season 1, episode 3, Ghosts. Okay, and it starts off with Brandon. Brandon last week was gonna go out with his friend from work. He convinced him to go ahead and get that gun, okay? So the dude is meeting up with one of his guys, and he had $500 on him. He said, "Look, bro, don't give all that money, okay? Take exactly how much you expect to spend, because if you show them that you want $500 worth of guns, that's how much he gonna take from you, and probably give you some fucked up shit." So the guy shows up, and at this point in time, I'm looking at Brandon like, Brandon, you don't even know how to go about doing all this stuff, and that's your telltale sign that you need to just go back home and be with Jerica. Go to sleep, sleep this off, and let it go for right now. Like, not trying to get revenge, but just let this part of it go right now. And they get there, the guy showing them the gun, how much you willing to spend. He was like 300. I said 300, you should have said 200. Get you a little pistol start and just go ahead and go about your day, okay? You only want to shoot one nigga. But do what you do. Dude was like, this a Glock right here. It got automatic. Put a hole in that bitch, okay? You see right down into their soul as soon as you bust them with these hollow tips, okay? It's $300 plus $50 a clip. Now, how much you want? You want one clip? If you want one clip, that's $350. I was like, all right, salesman, you better get your sale. He was about to get that sale until he started talking about the clips and stuff. And Brandon got nervous, and then dude was like, yo, man, don't have me wasting my time. I'm gonna still take this money anyway. And was like, you know what? I don't think I need this gun. I don't think I need none of this. A boy got pissed off at him for wasting his time, knocked his ass out, and said, give me the fucking money. Took the money out his pocket. The $300, because oh boy, his friend told him to put that 200 up in his shoe so that he couldn't take his stuff. I said, bitch, the friend knew something was gonna happen. The friend knew something was gonna happen. He knew dude was gonna back out, and he knew that shit was gonna rock the way that it rocked, and that's why he said put the rest of that money in your shoe so they couldn't take that money. Cause soon enough he knocked his ass out, he went into his pocket and took that 300. So he gets back home. He don't even go home. Brandon goes to his mama's house, and you know, the her current boyfriend is there, okay? And he was like, bro, what the fuck happened to you? He was like, you out here doing all this shit for Coochie and all this other stuff, and you know, the, the I just I don't like to see Kima, aka Laverne. She will forever be Kima from The Wire to me. I don't like to see her in this state because I'm so used to seeing her, and it shows you how much of a good actress you are when you can, play different type of characters. But I loved her as Kima. Every time I ever seen Kima playing a character, she's always been a strong ass woman. I do not like seeing her playing this character of Laverne, depending on the man, leeching onto a man, letting the man take over and do all this disrespectful stuff. Because when he was like, Brandon was like, here, I need a t-shirt or some shit. He was like, here, take this alcohol and stuff, clean yourself up, and here, take this shirt. He was like, this Coogee shirt? Yeah, some of his shit that I told her to get away, put away, or some shit like that. And the way that he said his shit needs to be put away or give away to the Goodwill or some shit like that, dude didn't really care. It don't sound like he cares that your woman is going through some stuff and that she just lost her baby boy. And it just irks me, and it just feels like he's really just freeloading up in that house off of her. Next thing you know, Brandon finds out that the mama's about to sell the house, okay? And he upset about that because he owns half the house and this house been in the family, and she didn't discuss it with him. The grandfather gave them the house, and he just pissed off. He go home, he talked to Jerica. Jerica is mad at him because he's like, what the fuck is going on with your head? And he had to come to tell her the truth. Look, bitch, some shit happened at work, and no, let me stop playing. Let me stop playing. I tried to go buy a gun, though. I really did. She was like, you know what? Bitch, I ain't got fucking time for this shit, okay? You know, you do what you do. Next thing, she was just telling him, you gotta stop this shit and you have to move on. The next morning, they on a more better equal footing, but he wants her to go over there and talk to his mama about this house selling thing, and that's what she tried to do because she took a risk. She took a risk with her life because the mama Laverne don't fuck with her like that. And so she talked to her, and she come to find out she knows exactly who the guy is that sold her on the idea of trying to sell a house. And they did sign some paperwork, but it was not a bill of sale. It's not saying that you actually sold the house. It's like a potential to look into selling the house or whatever. And so, Brandon whole thing is try to keep this house in the family. I don't want her to sell it. And at first, that's where Jericho was going. Jericho was like, you don't need to do this and all this stuff. You got the Obama Museum coming in, and it's gonna bring a whole bunch of people out here. So, if you do sell the house, you can rent it out and you can get way more for it than you have now, because the street gonna be booming and stuff. Gentrification and all that shit gonna bring some more business coming in. And Brandon was looking like, bitch, wait a minute. I sent you over here to talk to her, to talk her out of selling the shit. You over here talking her into selling it. She was like, look, I thought it was going to go that way too. But, at this point in time, this may be the best fit for your mama to sell it. Because like the mama said, I got too much. It's too big for her to handle at this moment. And I do want to fast forward to the scene when he came back over there to the house. And old boy was over there. And they was packing up Coogee stuff. And he found some magazines and shit. And he gonna say something. Why you up here with these penthouse magazines? You ain't never heard of Red Too? He said, I don't fuck with them internet titties. That shit took me the fuck out for some reason. The way he said internet titties, I said, bitch, that is exactly what it is, okay? He was like, old school. Look at that. I said, that was funny. Up at my job, when I used to work at Harold Washington, do you know you can rent out? They get Playboy magazines, and I think Playgirls too. Do they still have Playgirl? But they got Playboy magazines up there, and they be, leaving their cars and stuff to go look at it. And I'm like, I know you're not looking at it to read the articles. It's just disgusting. Let me put some gloves on when you come try to take the thing out. But anyway, moving on from that little scene with Brandon and his mom, and they was just talking, and she was like, one of the reasons why she really want to sell the house, because he said, what is the reason that you really want to sell this house? She just can't deal with the fact that Coogee is not there no more, and it's understandable. And she was like, they had a little laughing moment, but then they got real because she said, I know you feel like I love Coogee more than you. And he was like, no, ma, no. She was like, yes, I know you do. And it's not that I loved him more than you. It's just that I know that you was out here and you was meant to do different things, okay? You was meant to stand on your own. You can get by in this world. But Coogee, he was different, and he needed me more, and he needed you. He needed both of us. And they just broke down and crying and all that stuff. And she was finally, we see a scene where she is being sympathetic and showing motherly love to Brandon, because when we first saw her, she was giving him shit in the first episode. After the funeral, she was blaming him for Coogee death. When they was last week up in that bar, she was just drunk off her ass, just being an ass to him. But it was refreshing to see her finally open up and break down with him, and to embrace him as her son and be like, baby, I'm just acting out because my son is gone, and I didn't want this for any of my kids, and it's the one that I thought I was protecting the most because he needed the most protection, and he still passed away. Unfortunate. Um, so that was cool with that. We're gonna get back on Brandon shit in a minute. Let's get to little Emmett. Emmett and Keisha still fucking around. This time, Keisha done got Emmett up in her room, in her bed, titties all exposed. I said, what the fuck y'all in here doing? Oh, your titties exposed, bitch. What you think they doing? They trying to fuck. And she was like, you not finna fuck with me, okay? With no kinda. You not trying to put no baby up in me. And the way she said it, and he was like, come on, baby, we can do other things. The way she said, you ain't trying to put no baby up in me. Had he said one more thing before her mama popped up, she would have let him hit. She would have let him hit raw dog, okay? It was just in a way that she was about to give in. She was about to give in. Emmett is a sweet talker and didn't even try to, and she was about to give in, okay? But the mama popped up and came home early. He jumped out the window bucket naked. My whole thing is, when he was running off the porch, he was running off the porch with his shit. I said, you mean to tell me the mama left, you couldn't put your drawers on and then run down? But, I mean, all right. His mama the next morning was trying to talk to him. He and there trying to take a shit. The little baby opened up the door, interrupted him. The mama was like, you going to work today? Please ask Sonny to give you some more shifts or whatever. He said, yes, I'm working on it. And surprisingly, the mama said she gonna take the baby to the baby gap, okay? Take him off his hands for the moment. So my question is, with little Emmett Jr., did his mama literally just drop his ass there and not come back at all? Or is she dropping him there and then picking him up and then dropping him, are they sharing custody or whatever? Cause I'm just like, what the heck? All right. Um, when all that happened, so he needs to go and talk to Sonny. He was asking him, Sonny in that fucking grease. If he is not somebody old ass grandparent, because my grandma used to do that same shit, say the grease, use the flavoring from the grease and refry shit. Bitch, I'm like, that looks nasty. And if you're gonna cook it, it looked nasty, but the food was good. Bitch, that's why I'm fat as fuck. Any fucking way. I was with Emmett like, why we gotta keep this shit fresh? Can we get some fresh shit? But Emmett asked him about some new spots or whatever. If he has some openings, some shifts open, he's willing to do something. And he said, you know what? At this particular moment, I ain't got nothing. We all filled up. But if I ever get something open, you're gonna be the first one. And you need to get back on trying to go ahead and pay Quentin back his money. All right, because he is not the dude to fuck with. All right. We see what's his name? Quinn, not Quinn, but Emmett later goes to the corner store after we see dude throw some nachos at him at the owner inside, and then they running after him, and then he gonna call him an apple. And I was like, bitch, wait a minute, what's apple? And you didn't say that as a a positive thing. Me and Emmett was like, what the fuck apple mean? And then they talking to each other in Arabic. He said, stop talking to y'all in Arabic because that make it seem like you talking about us, which he was, okay? And he was like, you know what? That's fucked up. See, what you need to do is you need to have somebody that looks like us in the community so that you can get people up in here and they can respect y'all asses and shit like that. What he was spitting that game and he was spitting that real. If you have someone brown skin, black, who look like the people that you're serving in your community, you probably get a little bit more respect and, less people coming in stealing. And he was like, who you think I should get? He was like, me. Oh boy said, hell no. It was a nigga that was behind him waiting. And he was like, oh shit, so you not gonna get us? You not gonna do it? Bitch, fuck that. We gonna boycott, okay? We gonna take our shit down to Joel Osco. You gonna come to Joel Osco? Oh boy was like, let me get two of them Swisher Sweets, okay? And that blunt right there. I said, it was sitting there like, bruh. Oh boy was like, shit, Joel Osco cost 10 times more than the dude over here. What you talking about? Bitch, that whole thing made me realize it was Monique wanting us to boycott Netflix. And that dude that didn't, that was the rest of everybody that was like, fuck Monique and this boycott thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what it made me think about. Y'all know it. But talking about Quentin. Quentin now here, we see him pop back up. And we see him go to the dudes that was at that house, that block, okay? And the nigga that we thought on the block, which really wasn't him, it was the dude in the car where he was standing at. He getting all high and mighty like, who the fuck are you? And, am I supposed to know you? And all that stuff and thrice. And, he was just getting real big and bad in his talk like he really somebody and doing some shit. And I was like, damn, so you just disrespect your elders like that. I don't give a fuck if you ain't never seen him or nothing. Look at how the man is dressed. Look at how he's carrying himself. Obviously, he's someone of importance. And you just kind of like, shitted on him with your attitude, with disrespect and all that stuff. And he better be glad he ain't get his cap blown back, okay? He pulled his shirt up and showed that he had a gun. And Quentin was like, so what, I'm supposed to show you mine? I'm supposed to be scared. I said, come through, Quentin. Quentin is an OG, come to fucking find out. And inside the car, he went on ahead and got inside the car. And it's the guy that old boy actually worked for, who I don't, I guess he came up under Quentin. And he the main dude. Quentin is the main dude, okay? And so at this point in time, Quentin is questioning him about what's going on the block, about Jason being murdered. and how all these bodies keep popping up and it's bad for business. And I was like, oh, I get the connection now. This used to be your shit, or you the main dude with the supply and all this stuff. So whatever fucks around on your block that's stopping shit is fucking with your money too, okay? Next thing you know, he calling on Jerica because she a real estate seller and looking at the house and this particular house, and he was like, okay, I'll take it. Didn't even stay up in there for 5 good minutes. He said, no, bitch, I will take this house. You don't have to give me no mortgage. I want the key right now, and I want all this stuff done by the night. And here you can call my lawyer. I said, damn, that's OG shit right there. Later, we see him sitting down. He come into the house with a table and a chair, one little table, put his bag on the table, take this napkin out, spread it out, put his cap on, his hat on the on the table, and then he put out an ashtray with his cigar, light that bitch, and he got the chair turned so he can see the trap house that he was just at. I said, because he don't trust the motherfuckers, and I wouldn't either. You got to keep an eye on your shit, okay? Uh, what's up, Lil Kevin? Lil Kevin and Ronnie's story intertwined. So we see Ronnie, he goes over there to the cop cruise and, trying to say, hey, my y'all gave Tracy back some of his stuff, some of Jason's stuff, but his cell phone was missing, and she need the cell phone because she want the pictures off of that for the memorial and stuff. And he was like, I gave you everything that I have. Don't touch me. Don't get too close and all this shit. You need to back the fuck away. Now see, Cruz is in his feelings because Cruz know he fucked up. Cruz fucked up by telling Ronnie that they had somebody in custody, and Ronnie was not a blood relative of Jason. And Wallace was standing out there looking out the window at the whole thing. So he confronted Cruz in the bathroom trying to see what Ronnie was doing, what he wanted, and all that shit. And of course, he was telling the truth, but slightly lying at the same time. Especially when he asked, "Did you tell him that we had Coogee in custody or whatever?" Because next thing you know, he show up dead, and he was like, "No, I didn't tell him nothing about that." And so it's eating away at Cruz that he could have possibly caused this boy's death. Okay, because he knows Ronnie did it, and that's exactly what he told his girl that was at the house with him when he couldn't sleep. And so you see Ronnie trying to make it up to Tracy. Tracy said, "Bitch, don't fucking talk to me because you left me high and dry like you always do," because he never came back with the food like he was supposed to. Left her in the house looking stupid. And he was like, "Something came up." It was like, "You could have called me. You could have did this. You could have did that." This motherfucker is feeling the guilt and shit because he's sitting on the couch smoking and he's hallucinating that Coogee is sitting right there, and Coogee saying, "Bitch, they gonna find whoever the fuck they gonna get. You gonna get yours." Okay. And so later he sees Kevin because he going to that candy store and asking around about the 3 little kids that be up in there. And the dude told him because he knew his son and apologized for the death of his son. So he was like, yeah, they go to this school right here. They come out at 3 o'clock. And so at that moment in time, he go over there looking like a little creep. Man, Ronnie was over there on some pedophile looking shit. We know he ain't want to touch the kids, but when you see grown ass people that ain't supposed to be outside of school because you ain't got no kids up in that goddamn school waiting outside of school, that's some creepy ass shit. And Kevin saw his ass and they ran back into the school, and just so happened to run back in that play. And they was back there just arguing. I said they arguing like grown ass men, okay, over shit. And that's like what you need to do is just confront him, just talk to the motherfucker so he can leave you alone. All right, that's what you need to do. You need to boss up. Mind you, we found out that Kevin Mama is a lot. Kevin Mama like puss just like me. I was like, okay, we got some little lesbian shit going on. That's cute, but that's nothing to really harp on. So when that happened, we get to what's his name? Lil Kevin, like I said. He goes over there to Ronnie's place, and then we see Ronnie was talking to the dudes on the porch, and right when he was about to take a drink, he looked over and he see Kevin. So I guess he went over there to talk to him. And then next thing you know, we see Kevin rolling up to Brandon. Brandon's cousin had dropped his car so he can use it, borrow it, or whatever. And then He was like, yo, I want to apologize for the way I came at you the other day, and all this shit, being all nice and demure with his, his presence and stuff. I said, something is up. He was like, yo, you want to walk me home? I got to walk through the park or whatever. He's like, all right, cooler, man. It's okay to be scared. Next thing you know, it just felt like a setup. It really felt like a setup. I said, Kevin, what are you doing? Sure enough, once they walked through the tunnels, Ronnie is standing over there in the tunnels. And I said, what the fuck? And Ronnie was like, I heard you was looking for me, yo. I said, Ronnie, you better chill, okay? Ain't nothing you gonna say gonna let this man forgive you for doing what you did, okay? Because you took matters in your own hand and you shouldn't have. And see, Brandon needs to take heed and learn from this situation, because that is exactly what Jerica, his girlfriend, was trying to tell him. Let the cops and them or whoever else deal with it. Do not do this shit. Okay, do not try to seek revenge and then get your ass locked up or have your ass feeling guilty or some shit because you done took a life, you know. But this was a good episode once again. This was The Chi. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Actually, okay. Peace.